The title of Mike Leigh's latest movie, Hard Truths, suggests a remarkable, career-spanning consistency, tracing back to the stage and screen director's 1971 big-screen debut, Bleak Moments. For more than half a century, Leigh has been bringing audiences into the lives and homes of British citizens of various backgrounds and classes, developing original projects through a unique workshopping process whereby the actors have a hand in creating the characters they play. Hard Truths builds upon the humanistic director's signature method, reuniting him with Marianne Jean-Baptiste and Michele Austin. The pair first played sisters in Leigh's 1993 play, It's a Great Big Shame, and close friends in his Palme d'Or-winning feature, Secrets and Lies, 1996. Their work on this film has been earning them acting kudos far and wide, with Jean-Baptiste scoring top honors from the New York, Los Angeles, and Chicago critics groups. As Leigh told Variety at the Palm Springs Film Festival, he has little interest in working with stars, that is, egocentric actors who bend their roles to a well-established public persona, but thrives in collaboration with character actors, which is to say, actors who don't play themselves but can do real people, he explained. Leigh insists upon performers who can act in a versatile way, doing lots of sorts of characters, and they are like the real people out there in the street. On Hard Truths, he was keen to team again with Jean-Baptiste and Austin, who effectively began their professional careers with Leigh. Originally hired straight out of drama school, the pair look back on those 90s projects as formative experiences. Working with him and learning his process set up the way that I worked from then on, Jean-Baptiste said. Even when I was working on conventional jobs, I would try and use what I've learned from working with him to create characters or to make the characters that were on paper feel more real. In inviting Jean-Baptiste to participate in what would come to be called Hard Truths, Leigh knew he wanted her to play a lead character. According to the actor, who was Oscar-nominated for her role as a young optometrist who seeks to locate her birth mother in Secrets and Lies, part of the bargain in working with Leigh is that the process is organic and nothing is certain from the outset. If something else started to happen with the other characters, my character could have been diminished somewhat, said Jean-Baptiste, who claimed she was prepared for that possibility. I have to take that with a pinch of salt, Leigh told Jean-Baptiste during our interview, because the idea that we would lug you all the way across the Atlantic and then have you do a minor role is eccentric. To put it more accurately, Leigh said, we embark on a journey of discovering what the film is by the process of doing it, but I do make a number of provisional or potential decisions. In this case, Leigh wanted Jean-Baptiste and Austin to play sisters. He brought them both in from the very beginning of what turned out to be a 14-week process, during which they developed the backstory and characters, who would come to be named Pansy and Chantel. The job is to start to create characters, and as soon as we're at it, we start to get a sense of who we're talking about, Leigh said. At that stage, I always say, let's call her X, because we don't know who she is yet, explained Leigh, who asks his collaborators to describe a handful of real people, from which they start to create the character. The source of Pansy was about 5 people, none of which would ever recognize her and say, oh, that's me, Jean-Baptiste recalled. What happens is, that's the starting point. It's just something that roots the character in reality. And then when we have a sense of a character that we've built out of those people, we start from scratch, from their first memory, and we start building a completely new person. According to Leigh, it goes without saying that I've made a significant choice in a decision about the potential difference between these two sisters. There's nothing random about that. Only after all of that work has done, though extensive acting exercises and rehearsal, does Leigh write out the scenes. He famously uses improvisation during the exploratory early stage, not in the hammy, make-it-up-on-camera way associated with Hollywood comedies, but insists that his actors stick to the script once written. It's about the motivation, explained Austin. That's the thing that a lot of actors probably get wrong in the improvisation, that if you're actually drawing from life, you're not thinking, I've got to be clever or say something funny now, and that's the difference.